Thomas Edison is a false genius who did not create the first light bulb, photograph, or motion picture camera. He was a very dark and evil person who manipulated and used people for money. But on the flip side, Thomas Edison was a legendary businessman, which is the exact reason why in today's video, we're gonna go over marketing strategies that Thomas Edison himself used to make his $12 million net worth, which would be equal in today's money to $170 million. Strategies such as market magnet, spot improve, and monopoly lodestone concept. And if you happen to be a business owner or an online coach or a marketer, keep watching this video because the principles here, if used correctly, have the potential to not only make you wealthy, but ensure that you remain wealthy in the long run. What's up? My name is Marley Jaxx. I have a business that helps entrepreneurs to market their businesses, plus this YouTube channel, of course, where I talk about the secret marketing strategies behind historical figures like this guy that no one else knows about. Starting with market magnet. The first concept is gonna help navigate through the marketplace with ease and make money with ease as well. Because if you learn this strategy and implement it well, marketing can become free or a lot more inexpensive. Because this is the strategy that can make you rich just like it made Edison rich back in 1888. Around that time, he was pretty much already rich because of Tesla's light bulb invention. Back in 1879, Tesla was very much working for Thomas Edison, and right away, Edison went on patenting the first working light bulb that Tesla invented. And by the way, the guy patented like a bajillion different things in his whole career. Back in the day, the light bulb wasn't something that everyone could just get their hands on. Edison, being the businessman he is, wanted to sell it to the masses. He had this system for the light bulb called a current direct system, or DC for short. It wasn't really working out for him because it was firstly freaking huge, and secondly, the generators for the light bulb were constantly breaking down, and Edison wanted to deliver the light bulb to huge masses of people so that of course he could profit off of it. Therefore, Edison hired Tesla to work for him, and he promised him a fat paycheck of $50,000, which for today's value is equivalent to like 1.3 million. Edison said that he would pay Nikola Tesla that much if he fixes the problem with the light bulb. Tesla locks himself away, putting in months of hard work. When he finally cracked the problem, he went back to Edison expecting that $50,000 he was promised. However, Edison essentially flipped him off and said, "You don't get our American sense of humor, that $50,000 was just a little joke." Tesla, feeling betrayed by his boss, decides to create his own current system for the light bulb. Talk about revenge. And he did. He created a new current system called the alternating current system, AC for short. Tesla was very eager to showcase it to the public, but Edison didn't like that because the new AC was better than DC. It was improved and overall just better that it would decrease the sales of the DC. So he decided to sabotage Tesla. One of Edison's marketing strategies involved discrediting the safety of AC by associating it with danger and death. And to demonstrate this, he arranged public demonstrations where animals were electrocuted using AC. And these events were meant to instill fear in the public and make people doubt the safety of Tesla's AC system. One of the most notorious demonstrations happened in 1903 when Edison organized the electrocution of Topsy, a female elephant at Coney Island, using AC. The event was filmed, it was widely publicized as evidence of the dangers of AC. In the end, despite Edison's marketing tactics, Tesla's AC system prevailed and became the standard for electrical power distribution years after he died. This war of currents was the biggest reason why we're talking about Edison today. Initially, people didn't think Edison was out to get Tesla, but now it kind of makes sense. And as time went on, folks started looking into Edison's other projects and his team, and it turns out he was a bit shadier than we thought. So these days, he's more perceived as a savvy businessman willing to use questionable methods to protect his interests among some people, while Tesla is often remembered as the visionary inventor whose ideas ultimately were used by Edison. But that's not just it. The patent office granted Thomas Edison a patent for his electric lamp. Edison's patent was an improvement on electric bulbs, not the invention of them. But because of Edison's design changes and the materials he used, such as carbon filament, his patent allowed for an electric lamp that was reliable, safe, and practical. And so despite these incredible inventions and accomplishments, Tesla tragically died with little to his name. At one point, he was worth over $100 million, but that was completely lost over failed projects and not managing his finances very well. So at the time of his death, net worth, non-existent. Thomas Edison effectively ruined Tesla's career and life, all for the sake of making some money and kind of changing the world with the light bulb. Then after inventing the light bulb, Thomas Edison noticed the growing popularity of photographs in the US and Europe. So he recognized a gap in that market. He realized that there was a demand for a device that not only captured images, but also recorded them as well. So he set out to invent the first motion camera. However, as you might have guessed, he didn't create that one himself either. And as we'll discuss later on, there are some shady rumors surrounding this part of Edison's story too. Now, both of these stories about the light bulb and the camera are actually kind of related to each other. Both of them were kind of in demand in the market. They weren't needed per se, but this is kind of like what's going on right now with the Apple Vision Pro. Did we need to wear magic goggles 24/7 instead of just using our phones? No. Is it cool, and were we expecting some revolutionary tech to show up and change our lives completely? Yes. And no, this isn't another lesson about meeting market demand, it's something different. As marketers, you need to think fundamentally to pinpoint where the demand lies. Thomas Edison created a product where there already was existing demand. But for business owners and marketers, the strategy is a bit different. You have to consider a marketing angle that already has demand, utilizing your existing skill set. People yearn for genuine human authenticity, and the last thing that you want to do is simply copy what others are doing. When I mention a marketing angle, I mean finding your own special way to promote your product or service. That's why people choose to buy from you, because you don't resemble the standard NPCs. You stand out from the crowd, which ultimately translates into cash and helps you grow. Now, I said don't copy someone's marketing angle, but feel free to steal their ideas. Here's why. The spot improve concept will show you how you can profit from using other people's ideas in your business, like Edison. I mean, not exactly like Edison, because he's just straight up evil, but there is indeed a first principle concept behind Edison stealing other people's ideas, effort, and lives. Because Edison didn't just use Tesla for his own benefit on almost every single invention that Edison had. There was a story behind him using the person who invented it. One of these stories was about creating the first motion picture camera. As you remember, we talked about how he noticed that photographs were getting popular in Europe and the US, so he decided to create cameras due to increased demand. It was kind of like Battle of the Inventor. Everyone was creating their own first motion picture camera. The first inventor to invent and patent the camera would own a fortune. That man was Louis Le Prince. Louis Le Prince was the first person to invent the motion picture camera. He was a French artist and inventor who worked on the daguerreotype. I had to Google how to pronounce that. And he took photos of people like Queen Victoria. And he recorded the earliest known motion picture back in 1888. It was a garden scene of his family that lasted 2 seconds. And that year he also filmed a short sequence of traffic on the Leeds Bridge. So the question is, if he was the first person to create the motion picture camera, why don't we know about him? Why do we know all about Thomas Edison as the film guru instead of him? Well, in 1890, Louis was getting ready for a big trip to the United States to showcase his invention and also get a patent for the motion picture camera in the United Kingdom. But before jetting off, he hopped on a train to Paris to visit his brother, and while riding the train, vanished into thin air. His buddy who was with him lost sight of him and never saw him again. In 1898, Adolphe Le Prince, Louis' son, appeared as a witness for the defense in a lawsuit brought by Thomas Edison against the American Mutoscope Company. He testified about the inventions of his late father, Louis Le Prince, saying Edison's claim to be the inventor of the cinematography and therefore entitled to royalties for the use of the process was BS. He basically patented himself as the innovator of the motion picture camera. 3 years later, Adolphe Le Prince was found dead under suspicious circumstances. He was battered body, gunshot wound to the head during a duck shoot on Fire Island in New York. So, did Edison assassinate both of them? That's what many think happened, at least. Too many unfortunate circumstances for Thomas Edison to benefit from. So how is this related to the concept, and what is the first principle behind this? Well, Thomas Edison did patent the motion picture camera, and he profited a whole lot from it because he was a great businessman and marketer. So the fundamental principle behind this is kind of like spotting good ideas, taking inspiration from other people's ideas, and marketing them better. I know it's quite an extreme story to benefit from, but you could kind of think of it as the Hydrox and Oreos situation. Did you know Oreos were actually a knockoff of another chocolate sandwich cookie? The first chocolatey wafers with cream in between the cookie were actually Hydrox. Oreos modeled their idea, made it taste more sweeter, less crumblier, and on top of everything, they marketed it better, which is why Hydrox discontinued in 1999 and why Oreos are more popular than them. I mean, like, comment Oreos all day in the comments below if, like me, you've been guilty of eating an entire sleeve of Oreos in one sitting. I can't be the only one, I know it. So comment that below so I know I'm not alone. Anyway, spot an idea from others, improve it, and market it better. Then, to make even more people dependent on your product, use the monopoly magnet concept. This concept might be a little tougher for you to implement at first, but it's also the one that can automate more customer acquisition. So after the Prince died, Edison patented the motion picture camera and he started making money off of it. What he would do is he would go to the movie theaters and allow the theaters to use the projectors, but he would charge them a subscription fee. Back then it's like $5 a month. He made such a good product, or rather such a revolutionary product, that theaters started making serious bank, and guess what? Edison was cashing in too, thanks to those subscription fees. Imagine this, like every theater wanted to be in on the movie action and Edison held the key. If you wanted your theater biz to shine, you had to get your hands on this revolutionary gadget for showing moving pictures, all thanks to Thomas Edison. So what's genius about Edison's move is that he knew these theaters couldn't just drop big bucks on something they weren't sure about. It's like what Spotify does. Like, they're not making music, they're just giving you a platform to jam out. Or like Amazon, they're not making the stuff they're selling, they're being the middleman of all the products that are being sold. So Edison made sure that everyone in the entertainment game couldn't imagine doing business without his projectors, just like you can't imagine buying stuff without Amazon. That's the marketing lesson here. Here's the game plan. Take a page from Edison's pricing playbook, setting up a monthly fee system, become the middleman in your field. Here's the thing. Make your service so phenomenal that people can't fathom functioning without it. To be so essential that businesses can't imagine running smoothly without what you bring to the table. And then lastly, make the product so good that your product is a must-have for success. If you apply all these strategies in your business, you can become successful like Edison. Well, let's be real for a second. Thomas Edison in today's money has a total net worth of 170 million, but he was already an established businessman before inventing the light bulb. And chances are you having the ability to expand your business as Thomas Edison may be unlikely, which is exactly why I filled in that puzzle for you already, so you don't even have to worry about anything. Go watch this video here where I talk about how to expand your business like the Kardashians did, so you can use the same marketing strategy in your business. I'll see you there in a few seconds.